listen, wait me back.
Baby, what you wanna do? I'm ready to pull up on you. I'm ready to do what I do. This type shit have you wildin'. Last minute shit to the highest. Drip, drip, drip when you slide it. Flip, 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 baby, ride it. Don't hesitate when you cause you know I like it. Taking up a date for you. Sweet baby, nigga, when you bite it.
I'm talking about it. Hey, just gonna talk it out. Hey, hey, hey. It's your girl Candy here for a quick recap of Enough, which is my favorite Jennifer Lopez movie. Selena's is the first favorite, and this Enough is the second favorite. This movie was recorded in 2002, and it was just a very special movie for me back in the day. Not that I dealt with any of those things that she dealt with, of course, but it was just a a cool movie to see a chick. Um, Sadly, that she was abused by her husband and her child's father. She was abused by him mentally, physically, emotionally, but she left him. She became stronger mentally, physically, and emotionally. And she took him out. That's a happy ending for anyone that sees someone going through anything. So anytime the other person gets taken out, it's always a good movie in my mind, in my head. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start this commentary of this movie. And when is enough enough? Who knows? Nobody knows but you. Okay? Let's get started, shall we? So, girl, it's a trick. So the movie opens up with a seemingly idyllic scene. Slim is played by Jennifer Lopez. She's a waitress in LA, in an LA diner. She meets this guy named Mitch. He's nice, he's handsome, he's seemingly charming. And he kind of takes up for her from a rude customer, and we'll see this dude later on. So the initial scene, establishes the facade of a happy couple. It's not a real couple, it's a happy couple. They seem like they are anyway. However, there are subtle hints that Mitch's charming might be masking something else. He's a bit, how can I say it? He's a bit overbearing. He's, up close and personal. He's a jerk per se, like red flags all the way around. And the way he handles his things, the way he postures, in his gaze is always like he's controlling. And yeah, that's the word. He's controlling. And the personality underneath the surface is slowly coming out. And we can slowly see that Mitch is not who we think he is or who Slim thinks he is. So they go forward a couple years when Slim and Mitch are now married. They have a little girl. Pause. I need to use my slides. I got the slides, use them. Okay. So we have her best friend and her ex-boyfriend dancing at the wedding, and she gives her the okay that it's okay, good. She does a thumbs up or she does the okay. So I'm not sure, I can't remember, but she does that and lets her know that it's okay. And I say it's not okay. So they fast forward, and with Slim and Mitch, they are married. They have a daughter, little Gracie, and little cracks begin to show, in their life, and you end up seeing Mitch having a little bit of infidelity, might have you. So they're out having fun on the beach, but he is elsewhere. He's in La La Land while Slim and Gracie are playing. Mitch is off in the distance, and he isn't paying them any attention, and it's hurtful to be around someone like that when you're giving your all to them. You've become this loving wife, you are a loving mother, and then you see your husband not paying you all any attention, and he's off in the distance. That kind of bothers with your mental, your psyche a little bit, kind of make you think that you're not enough or doing enough for the person. And it's like, what is he thinking about? What does he have going on? So we have Slim confronting him, and this is a turning point in their relationship where he kind of moves from the semi-loving husband to a controlling and aggressive abuser. His rage shows, his violence pops out. So the what we thought we saw, them having a happy marriage, you know, is really coming to Slim face forward, like eye to eye, and it's just like a horrific reality that she's dealing with right now. So she's, fearing for her safety and for Gracie's safety, she decides to leave because he has put his hands on her. He slaps her and then he punches her. So she knows she has to leave. And it's a pivotal moment when she, kind of let him see her vulnerable moments. And then she turns into this other person where she knows she has to live. She has to do what she does what she needs to do to survive, to be a survivor, and continue to be the mother of little sweet Gracie. Um, so she goes to his mom's house, which is supposed to take the little girl, but the little girl did not go. She went by herself. Slim went alone. And, she's looking sad as she pulls up. The mom, caresses her face, because she's ready to see her and say, okay, we just having lunch by ourselves. And she looks at her and she say, what did you do? Excuse me, record DJ, stop the records. Say what now? Yeah, she was like, what did you do? In my mind, lady, are you crazy? Are you insane? This is really ridiculous, y'all. But I know people like this. I know people like this. And guess what? I once was one of those people. What did you do to make him do this to you? Because if you're doing what you're supposed to do, this man ain't gonna touch you. That used to be me. That was the old me. I don't think that way now, because no matter what you do, nobody should touch you. They should keep their hands to themselves. And unfortunately, that's not Mitch. He doesn't mind popping. I'm gonna call her J-Lo. Doesn't mind popping, so doesn't mind touching her. And once she realizes that law enforcement is not going to be able to help her, she has to dig deep within herself and find her inner strength to say enough is enough. And I cannot take it any longer. I need to live and I need to survive for my child. And that's when a lot of women, that I've seen over the years come to a point where they have to say, you know what? I need to do what I need to do for me. And I need to get out. Enough is enough. So she ends up getting assistance from her friends, and I think these are some very good friends to have. Jenny is the lady. Phil is the guy that's her father figure, and I don't know the other guy, the guy that's the driver. I don't know his name. So once they help her, they're waiting on her to leave. So Slim has to, get up out the bed real gently, ease up out the bed. She has to put a water bottle under the toilet seat so it seems like she's using the bathroom so she can try to leave. The guy friend is making a noise and like, I did good, dude. All right, calm down, Candy. But so he's making a noise for her to come on out, let her know that he's out there. And they want to go in because she's not moving. They want to hurry up and move because they don't see anything going on in the house. And it's like, what's going on? Lo and behold, Mitch pops out the closet on Slim. And that's when they jump out and run because they hear something fall. And it gives them the notion to go ahead inside. Let's go. We got to go help her. So he ends up knocking Slim to the floor. Once Jenny gets in, she, goes directly to Slim. Phil, which is her father figure, which is Gracie's grandfather, he picks her up and says, hey, look, Gracie, look at your stupid ass pappy. Nah, he don't say that, but those are my words. She's trying to, so And then once he does that, Mitch does put the blicky away. Um, and we do see that they tried to go to a hotel, the Biltmore Hotel, and nothing wrong with the van being in front of the Biltmore because the richest man could have a van like that. And so I'm not going to talk about Phil's van, but she can't do anything at the Biltmore because he has cut off her cards. He has shut down and frozen her bank account. So there's nothing she can do. She has to go to a smaller hotel that will accept cash and move on from there. So she's on the phone with Jenny talking. She's like, I gotta talk to you tomorrow. But she doesn't think Gracie has been tainted, which he has not at that time. And she gets a knock at the door. Well, she gets a phone call. I'm sorry, a phone call, and it's Mitch. He's talking about, oh, tainted, huh? Tainted. She can't be tainted. So of course, no, she can't be tainted. God doggone it, because I'm not gonna let her be tainted. Well, while she's talking to him, she's putting on her clothes. She's getting Gracie ready to go because he's starting to bam at the door. He kicks the door in. She goes out the window. This chick was already ready. She had the key to the window so she could lock him in the room so he couldn't get out. And, he ends up running, gets out some kind of way. And he runs down the street behind her like a bat out of hell. And I wish somebody had been out there and tripped him up and made him bust his face because I think he's just as stupid as I don't know what. Something is really wrong with this man. He's something wrong with him. Something was wrong with him. But in this moment, something is wrong with him because he just doing too much. And the law really can't help her because she has a child. And well, they can do a restraining order, but what is that? That's just a piece of paper. But she has a child, so now it's like you have to get the other part of the law involved, as far as like going to courts and whatnot for child. If he's not harming the child, but he's harming the mother. I think that's the stupidest thing in America. If he's not harming the child, but he's harming the mother and the child is with the mother, don't you think that the restraining order should be for the both of them? Or something needs to be for the both of them? Or should the child go live with the daddy just because the child ain't being abused? Like, what is it? I don't understand. I think that's the stupidest thing in America. I don't know who brought up that law, but that just is dumb. Because what does it, you know what? Never mind. See, I'm going on a rant. So she meets her friend, his name is Joe. She meets her friend Joe, and he helps her, get situated there, where her and Gracie can, just be at peace, be at home, be home. But some kind of way, Mitch is able to track her with Joe. So Joe gets a knock at the door. FBI. It ain't FBI. It's some doggone henchman that Mitch has hired to come and see what's popping over there at Joe's place, because I know that's where Slim and my baby is. Now they want to act like Gracie is on a doggone kidnapping list because they don't know where nobody at. But Mitch, don't nobody want to be around you. You are terrible. So of course, Gracie and Slim hide under the cabinet. They can't see. They can see out, but the guys can't see in because they're walking the place. They're scoping. They're trying to find out if if Slim and Gracie are there. They don't see them, so they end up threatening Joe, with a knife to his neck. And then the guy ended up cutting his couch, and I think that was so crazy. He cuts his couch, just busts it all open. This is so disrespectful. Sorry, Joe. So Slim moves on forward. She leaves Joe. She goes to see her father. And his name is Jupiter. I was going to call him Pluto. But they go see Jupiter, and Jupiter, denies being her father because he's not sure how many kids he has. People come to him all the time because he's a rich man, and he always thinks somebody's trying to take his money or get after him for money, but that's not what he's doing. She's, trying to say, I am your daughter. My mother passed. You did not help me with the funeral, which I don't know. I can't remember. She said, you do know my mother had passed, and I'm not sure. But anyway, so Jupiter offers her $6, says $6 for her, $6 for the kid. He gives her $12 because he said they can get something to eat with it. Sir, not in 2024. $12 will barely buy one person something from Chick-fil-A. Okay? $12 ain't gonna do nobody nothing in this economy. But anyway, Jupiter's a piece of work. So the three guys that was at Joe's place goes to threaten Jupiter. And once they threaten to put the light his behind on fire, set him up, set him on fire, he realizes that she was telling the truth and that she really does need help. So he sends her a nice little stash to the last place that he knew she worked, and which was the diner. So he sent her some money there. Luckily, she had people that was kind enough to give it to her, because I don't know if they knew it was money, but sometimes if you're not here, you're not in the state, they're not going to give you that package. But she had people that at the job that, cared for her and had her best interest at heart. So they did make sure she, had what she needed. Okay. So yeah, so later on she moves on after she gets the money. She finds ways to make sure they're safe. And she even tells her daughter to never call her Slim again. So later on, Slim does drive hours away to from where they live and to use a payphone to call Mitch's mom. Uh, Poor little Gracie. She did not know anything, but she still wants to talk to her dad. So Mitch's mother, tells Slim that Mitch is going to start a custody battle, and because of this. So Slim ends up calling Mitch and let Gracie talk to him, but Mitch is tracing the call due to the help of his friend Robbie, which was the one that was being a jerk to her at the diner. And so to find out Slim's location, he's helping him. And they end up so they were running a scam before in the beginning of the movie, and Slim was supposed to be a victim, and Robbie was under threat from Mitch to find Slim, or else he was going to report him for being a dirty cop. So later on, Joe comes on to stay with Slim and Gracie for a day, but Robbie sees them together because he's on a ferry boat or something on his truck, and he ended up hearing their voices, and he could see them. And so at night, Joe and Slim cuddle, in the same bed as Gracie, and they talk about being together, which is crazy. Um, yeah, it's crazy. So later on that day, well, they not that day, but later on, not he, Mitch ends up finding out where she's staying, and which is a house that she found, and she's either I doubt if she bought the house. She probably just rented the home, and she made some little minor adjustments to it to where she could be, um, like she booby trapped the house, and I'm sorry, I wouldn't even use my telephone pictures. So he booby trapped the house, breaks in, he kicks her, pulls her by her hair, pushes up against the wall, he squeezes her face, and you know, Gracie runs out and she pulls his hair. He pushes the little girl down because she's trying to protect her mom. So Slim uses her secret pepper spray watch on Mitch, and she's able to get away. So she takes Gracie and she ends up leaving the house, and she uses the lock that she installed on the outside that will make him stay in the house. So they get in the car and they leave, and they stop in a little alleyway to put on a disguise. Like she put on a wig, she put on a hat, she wanted to change clothes to go ahead. Luckily her door was locked because Robbie was following her, and she did not see him following her at this time. He was following her, and he pulled on her door handle. When she looked at him, she looked and she was like, I know this face, this blicka blicka blacker. She said all kind of words, I can't say it. But she realizes who she saw, and that it was, the guy from the diner. So now he's chasing her. He's in a Suburban, or either a Tahoe. I think it's a Tahoe. She's in a Ford Taurus, and she's used to this area that they're in. So she takes him, you know, on the road. So she knows how to drive the road. She knows when the curve is about to come. So she knows what she's doing. He doesn't. He has never been in this area, doesn't know how to drive the roads. And it's best to know how to drive. If you're going to do something like this, it's best to know where you're going, so you'll know when to dip and dodge, how to dip and dodge the other person. So she ends up going under a block bridge, and She flies under it, and he ends up getting hung up in it because he has an SUV. It's high up in the air or whatnot. And her car stays together, in barely together. I only was able to get the ending part of it because it happened so fast. I couldn't get the screenshot of him getting hung up under the little bridge barricade. um, so uh Gracie ends up going to a something like a little barn where she has another car hidden, um, prepared just in case she needs to get away. So this chick was very smart. She had everything prepared for the just in case. And that's me. I'm for the just in case type of person. And I know I'm saying it wrong, but that's for the just in case. It's always for the just in case time frame. You never know when you're gonna need something. So I got this for the just in case. Okay. I'm country. Y'all know that. It's all good. So Gracie is still traumatized. Now she's a little tainted. Now she is, because first she's had to pull her dad off of her mom. She had to hurry up and get her seatbelt on, change her clothes, and now that she realized somebody was chasing them, somebody pull up to their window. Gracie is kind of tainted and she's traumatized at this moment. So Slim goes to see a lawyer later on, and he tells her kind of sort of that it's too late because she should have filed police reports earlier, and that he's probably going to take sole custody of Gracie, or try to get sole custody of her, and make it seem like she's on drugs because she did something so abrupt, this abrupt change, something she's never done before, and it's kind of like out of the norm for her, which it is. And nobody ever sees Mitch's behavior. There's nothing they see. Only Robbie and Slim knows this. Even if she tried to pull in other people to help her, they probably will. He probably will unalive Jenny and Phil and the other little guy and different people at the diner, because he knows who she hangs with, who she's with. He knows everything about her. She knows nothing about him, sadly. And he probably would take those people out, if she was try to use them as, saying that these things did happen. I have witnesses. Um so she ends up meeting Jenny. Uh she tells Jenny what to do. She ends up meeting Jenny, and Jenny wants to know how long she's going to have to do this with Gracie. She doesn't mind watching Gracie, but she kind of wants to know a timeline because she has kids. But Slim gives her a little change and say, act like this is a vacation. And she tells her that she's going to try to, learn some self-defense to fight off Mitch. So later on, time goes by, and Slim goes back to see Jupiter, and she asks him to find a twin, somebody that looks like her. She needs to have on blue jeans and white sneakers. So she plans to have the body double in San Francisco to make it seem like she's there for their child, for the custody hearing. I think it's like in a couple days or whatever. So she leaves and goes to a store with one of Mitch's people following her. So, but it's not her, it's the body double. So at night, Slim picks a lock at Mitch's house. Now, I don't know how she picks a lock at this type of house with alarm, but I'm not going to go there because I didn't even care about that back in the day. But y'all know I will try to dissect. I'm like, scratch my head, like, how did they do that? But anywho, we can see that Mitch is, with another woman in the bed, and when he hears some commotion, he does get up, and unbeknownst to him, Slim is in the ceiling watching over him. She could have taken him out easily, the easy way, but nah, she didn't practice too much and did too much to I'm sorry, I wouldn't even use my pictures. So that's the guy that thank you, Black Jesus, because he was the one that really got her situated. Well, told her what she needed to do. And this is the other guy that helped her with her, learning how to, learning self-defense. So later on, the next day, she finds out that Mitch is back to his old ways. He's sleeping with another woman, and he's cheating on his girlfriend. So she plants some letters in a drawer and talking about abusive behaviors. And she ends up getting this little device from a store. I don't know if it was like a Radio Shack or something, from a store that turns off all cell phones, that cuts off all devices. So no phone calls will be able to be made once she flips that switch. She does a little practice test and lets Jenny know that she's about to do it. And once everything done, she waits and, wait for her prey to come to her, which is Mitch. But at one point, y'all, she almost got caught. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, she almost got caught, y'all. He came back home because he thought he turned the coffee pot off, but she saw it was still on, and she turned it off, thinking he, because it's something he normally does at home on a regular basis. So she turns it off. He comes back in the house, and he was like, "Oh." So he looks around, and then he sees a yellow bag on the counter, and she looks and sees the bag too. She was like, "It." And I said to myself, after all these years later, I was like, "God, I don't think I ever caught that yellow bag was on the counter." But he saw it, and he shrugged it off, and he left. He set the alarm. He must set the alarm for stay and not away, because he must hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 for stay and not 1 for away. Because ain't no way in the world she did all that moving around, all that planting and prodding and probing she did throughout that house, that alarm did not go off. So she did 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 stay. So the alarm is on while you in the house. So anybody coming outside, traipsing in, is gonna be the one to set the alarm off. But anywho, let's get back to the story. So later on that night, Mitch comes home and he is surprised by his wife, J-Lo. I mean, Slim. So she walks out all fine and beautiful and sweaty and semi-sweaty, because she's probably been sitting there perched and waiting on him to come home. And I got my slides mixed up, but it's okay. So she is there. She is ready to kick his ass. She beats him, y'all. She really does. She really does. He tries to call 911, but she already got the little device cut off, so it won't let him do anything. She turns on the lights to show him that she's there. And then he kind of still, talks junk to her as if she can't fight a man. So yeah, before she couldn't fight you, but now she can. So she hits him and tells him that he was a punk or something like that. I can't remember the exact word she used. And he's only hitting her when she wasn't expecting it. She wasn't expecting the hits that he was giving her. So she calls him a little punk. So she gets up and they kind of go after each other. She dodging him and she ducking and dodging and hitting him and carrying on. And she says that this will be classified as self-defense. No matter what, even though that she's in his house, because she's planted those letters there. And when she went to put those letters there, she ended up taking out one of the blickies. So she took the blicky out and put the letters there. So when he opened up the drawer, he put his hands all on the letters, which means he's touched them. His fingerprints are there. You can't say you didn't touch these letters, because you really did. And so that would be part of her self-defense. And those letters were saying that she wanted to meet with him to talk about Gracie. And at this point, he tries to choke her out. But, we know she's been trained about what she needs to do once she's in a certain position. And she gets out of it, and she wants to take him out, y'all, but she can't do it. She wants to take him out. I'm trying to find that picture, but she can't do it. She really can't. She wants him out of there, but she just can't. I didn't mean to show that picture just yet. I'm trying to find that picture where she has like a cement block or something that she wants to bring down over him. Where is it? Doggone it. Maybe I lost it. I thought I had it. Anyway. So she can't do it, and she ends up calling what's the gal name? I done said the gal name 5 times. Jenny. She called Jenny, let Jenny know she can't do it. And and it's okay that she can't do it. So while she's on the phone with Jenny, uh, he hits her in the head with a lamp. Okay, here's the picture I was talking about. She was like, she had a little slab or something she wanted to take over his head, but she couldn't do it. So I had to throw my little picture in. Don't do it, Miss Sophie. Just don't do it, Miss Seeley. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Anywho, um, so he ends up knocking her out, knocking her down, and she has to pretend that she is, knocked out. I'm sorry. She has to pretend that she's knocked out so that she can get him. And once like the guy told her, once he comes over you and steps over you, you just sit there and lay there and wait on him. And he ends up falling to his death. He fell. But y'all, back in the day, I was watching this movie when I was at my parents' house, and I was doing my aunt's hair. I was a kitchen beautician, and she was like, kick him in the balls, kick him in the balls, kick him in the balls, kick him. I'm trying not to laugh, but I can't do her voice. But she was kicking in the balls, kicking in the. Don't y'all show her this, because she act like she don't remember saying that. But anyway, so um she goes and throws that yellow bag and all that evidence and everything like that. She cleans up and throws everything in the river. I don't know if she put something on it to make sure it floats to the bottom. I don't know. But anyway, that ain't even important. She did what she needed to do. She took Mitch out. He's gone. He's a goner. And that's that on that. So, she ends up being at the airport. I think she talked to the police officers. I'm not sure. But she ends up meeting back with Jenny and Gracie, and they get back together, and they're headed to Seattle and stay with Joe, Slim's ex. And that's the end. So, guys, when is enough enough? I want to be bigger. Can I be bigger? Yeah. So when is enough enough? I've been messing with my hair while I've been reading and talking, reading my notes, and yeah, I've been messing with my hair. But anyway, so when is enough enough, guys? But yes, I've been wanting to put this movie out. This is my third time recording this video. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this video. Today is Thursday. This is midnight. Yes. So I'll drop it today. Yeah, because it's time to let us show why J-Lo was so great in this movie. She was with Mr. Unknown. We're gonna call him Mr. Unknown. Let's call him Mr. Let's call him Mr. So, she was with Mr. for a while, and Mr. got caught up with a club pow-powing, and she was dating him at this time. And by the time she broke up with him, she ended up doing this movie. And I feel that she did so well in this movie, not because she was trained well or somebody directed her well, but because she probably was doing something to these actors that she really wanted to do to Mr. And I just felt this was a great movie to put out for the climate that we're in now. And when is enough enough? For all the women that have dealt with domestic violence, only you know when enough is enough. We cannot tell you when to come forward, when to leave, when to move, when to do anything, when to report it. You know when enough is enough. And hopefully your enough is not to your detriment or to your demise. And on that note, I will see you ladies later. See you gentlemen later. Please like, please share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be bringing more content like this to you. This is my first solo video that I put out, that I'm going to put out, that I'm going to keep out. I'm going to leave it out. Hopefully the sound is right. My mic sounds nice. Let me know in the comment below if you like the movie, if you like the vibe. Please subscribe. And I will see you guys later.